When pro athletes get traded, become free agents, or need a second home, that's where I come in. My name is Jason Abrams. My team and I match the world's greatest athletes with the world's most unique properties. They call me the Jerry Maguire of real estate. You just worry about football, I'll worry about house hunting. I'm on the case. Most real estate agents deal with a specific territory, but I deal with the entire country. If there's a pro stadium there, that's my territory.
He even sounded like Jerry Maguire. Tuesday nights on HGTV, Scoring the Deal follows real estate pro Jason Abrams as he helps his sports stars clients find the perfect home.
It's nowhere near as easy as you may think it is. Jason Abrams, thanks so much for joining us. But it's interesting, you know, we think these jocks have got all this money. Why is it hard for them to find a pad?
A couple of reasons. Number one, it's usually timing. I mean, they only have 24, 48 hours to find the perfect property. Those of us that have looked at homes know that that's not easy. And also size. A lot of our guys are taller or bigger than the average person. So imagine if you only fit into half the showers out there. And none of the bathtubs.
I never would have even
thought the door frames.
Or the door frames.
Tell me about it.
It's a big deal.
Wow. Well, so give us an example of a hectic situation, like a situation where you had to scramble for a deadline for someone.
We had an episode last week where you saw Jordan Farmar, who was the point guard for the Nets. This was right when the NBA lockout was ending. He got a call. He was playing overseas. He had 48 hours to get back and be at practice. We got a call that said, I need a house tomorrow.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh. And they trust you to find the best situation for them, the best.
Yeah, well, for a decade we've been doing it, and at this point we kind of know what guys are looking for. They know that if we take them out, we're going to hit it out that day.
Wow. I mean, that's impressive.
He's the Jerry Maguire of realtors, this guy.
He makes it happen.
That's what they say.
Hey, a TV executive said this is the first time she's ever had to pull a clip from a show because of a stripper pole. So, okay, that's one example, but you get just some seriously strange requests.
We do. You know, in the past, we had a guy once say to us, can you rip all this granite out and put in Formica so that it feels like a home?
No way.
Well, he had grown up in an area where they didn't have granite countertops.
Did you do it?
We did it. And you know what? He was thrilled with that house.
And then how long was he there?
In his case, he was lucky, right? He was there 4 years. And he enjoyed it, and he lived in that home and was happy. He was ready to go. We put the granite back in, got the house.
Yeah.
Because that's what I want to ask you. I'm familiar with the sports world and how transient it is. And many players, you know, are in a place 1 to 2 years. You're very lucky if you're kind of the franchise guy. So what do you suggest to players who come to you and are like, I want the big pad? I'm always inclined to say, just rent.
100%. We will not sell you a home if it's your first year in any league. Whether you're the first pick or an undrafted free agent, you really just need to put your suitcase and show up to a furnished rental and concentrate on learning your trade. Because everyone in professional sports is that good, and you need razor focus. You're also, if you're not on a 4-year deal or a 5-year deal, you should totally rent. There's going to be time. Look, your career, you might be done when you're 30. And that's if you're really good at this.
Right.
So let's not collect houses, let's let money, and then when you finish, we'll take all the chips off the table, we'll see where we're at, and then you'll buy that dream house.
Yeah.
What sport or what players are the hardest to buy for? Is there a sport? Or is there a player type?
Right. I think that football players have it really tough because they're like some of the only sport without guaranteed contracts, which means that if they get hurt tomorrow, thanks so much for your time, really appreciate it. Basketball and baseball is not that way, right? So it's hard to even figure out a budget because if your income can stop tomorrow, it's hard to know how big of a home you want.
Badminton? These guys are easy.
They're
cricket.
Well, no, okay, so you just talked about budget, but we hear about athletes who go broke all the time because they make bad investments. So how do you help them make those smart decisions? I mean, you just touched on one of them by not letting them purchase a home in their first year. But what are some other ways?
Well, we tell everybody that they should have a financial advisor. Because if you're trying to do this on your own, I think you're going to have a hard time. And we also say don't invest in anything flashy. You're never going to make more money investing in real estate than scoring touchdowns. So you do what you do, which is score touchdowns, shoot baskets, or hit baseballs. We'll do what we do, which is on the real estate side. You should have something boring, like a bond portfolio, that you know it's going to be there when you're done playing. Just save your money.
So, you know, also in terms of what you're looking for, flashy isn't going to resell as easily as something that's kind of more mainstream that you don't have to find another athlete to take over that home.
Absolutely. The other side of that, though, is that if you're making a ton of money, you should really have something you're going to enjoy.
Right, like gold toilet seats are always like
absolutely.
Doesn't want one of those.
It's a royal flush.
I mean, there's a time in life for everything. On that first place, if you've been in the league a year or two and it's time to do something and you want to have something flashy like black leather wallpaper, more power to you. We'll fix it when it's time to sell.
So you're 300 days a year. You fly into these towns. You have to make these deals. Do you own or do you rent?
My wife and I rent right now. And I look at it like we're buying freedom one day at a time. Because we can live a different lifestyle next year.
and we're expecting our first baby at the end of March. Right. If you think about it, what happens between 25 and 35? You go through a lot of life changes. You pick a career, maybe you change 2 or 3 times, you get married, you meet the right person, you have a baby. All these different. If you were to buy a house every time you had a life change between 25 and 35, we'd all own 7 homes. I think there's nothing wrong with renting and broke.
I feel like he just condensed his whole life. Meet someone. Jason Abrams, thank you so much for being here, and you can catch Scoring the Deal Tuesday nights at 11 o'clock on HGTV.
Great show.
Yes. Well, in today's Cute from the Couch, we're asking, what is the one thing you wish your home had? Well, we were inspired by Jason. Visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/WLNYTV. You can follow us on Twitter at WLNYTV to answer. And later in the show, we're going to share some of your answers. I finally figured it out.
Golden toilets.
You gave me a good one with that black leather wallpaper.
Yes.
Well, Biggest Loser trainer Dolvet Quint is here for today's Fit Minute, and I am scared. 60 seconds.
He looks tough, Lisa.
I know.
There's no way this is ending happily, is there? The best viral videos are coming up. Oh, we better go to commercial quick.